Greetings here to you folks. This is Thursday. Welcome everyone here to this YouTube channel and also to my website. I have a website if you guys want to know a little bit more about what it is that I have done and what I was building on. That's the website. You can go over there and take a look. I'll leave a link below in the description box below the video. Talk a little bit about America, then I want to go on into Gaza and then on into that peace treaty thing. Just a little bit on America. America right now doesn't have a president. America's being run by a mob. It's the Democratic Party, extremely leftist, socialist, wants to bring socialism, which socialism eventually goes into communism, and that's where America is basically headed right now. If this mob should be able to continue and elect our vice president, she is for sure definitely anti-Israel and also is in the mindset of socialism. So that's America. If we make it all the way to the elections in November, nothing's going to happen until January anyway, because whoever is elected, let me back that up. If Trump is elected, he won't have any say-so until about January 10th, I think it is, when he gets sworn in. So that's America in the picture. I don't really pay any attention to it. It doesn't mean a lot to me. I'm staying focused, on the Bible stuff. All right, let me get into the Gaza Strip. I want to touch on that lightly. Israel's winning. Signs are there. Sinwar, Yahya Sinwar is his name. He's the head leader of the terrorist organization Hamas in Gaza Strip. That's where they believe he is. He made a statement saying in the new upcoming, if there should be, ceasefire, peace treaty, whatever you want to call it, hostage swap, that he not be killed. That kind of should tell you something. The other thing I noticed was a lot of people were saying, those talks went on, the different mediators in the, between Qatar and between Egypt and America, that Hamas didn't have a representative there. And that's simple to me. Israel said that they're going to kill every Hamas leader there is, and they were afraid. That's my understanding. To go to and from these meetings, Israel could easily spot them and take them out. But they also said that Hamas was represented there. So, in other words, those talks, it doesn't look like they're going to go on now, but again, I don't know how important that is. Most important is the war that Israel is in right now on three fronts. 1, Gaza, 2, Hezbollah up north, and 3, West Bank. The most serious threat where there's actually action taking place right now, are from those three, fronts. Gaza is basically at this point pretty much neutralized. It's not finished. They still have the pop-ups. A cell pops up here and then one over there. Talk about the Philadelphia corridor. If you understand that, that's the actual borderline of Gaza Strip to Egypt, right there. Okay, so that corridor was believed by Israel that was basically not a problem until they realized that they found all these tunnels. And it finally dawned on them, and that's only a month ago or so, a couple of months. Remember, Israel entered into Rafah, that's the southern part of Gaza Strip. Well, that's when they discovered that they had all these tunnels going underneath. And so Israel said, we have to take control of that Philadelphia corridor, or the borderline between Gaza and Egypt. And that's what Israel's doing. Part of the hang-up of any deal being made is that Israel remove its patrolling that border. And Israel said, we're not going to do that. So it's another really good sign that Hamas isn't doing very well, because they're not able to rearm right now. So Gaza, basically, Israel's even taking some of its troops out of Gaza, and they're focusing more on the northern part, which is Lebanon or Hezbollah. Israel's done some very serious damage, which is definitely a war that's taking place in Lebanon, taking out a lot of their ammunition caches, is that how you say it? Depots of all kinds of missiles and ammunition, etc. So those are big blows. And Iran now, let's talk about that real quick. Iran is involved in supporting Hezbollah. So money-wise, ammunition-wise, whatever they can possibly get across Syria into Lebanon to help them. Iran is not, I always want to say this one part, just Iran is going to be here towards mid-tribulation wars, which is Ezekiel 38 wars. So I really don't see Iran in the picture. So what's happened to Iran is they become very afraid of America. As a matter of fact, as of today, let's see, the U.S. Aircraft destroyers have arrived. And America, so we understand America's position here, said that Iran, if you should strike Israel, we will back up Israel. We'll support Israel. So Iran is backing away from wanting to do a heavy strike on Israel. Remember the retaliation for some of the military leaders that were assassinated by Israel? And Iran says, oh, I'm going to go ahead and get back even with you. So that looks like that's being put on the back burner. Iran's not interested in any big war. But let's also remember America said that Israel, you can't strike Iran. If you go on offense and strike Iran, we're not going to help you. That was what America said. There's also talk about a plan B, that they're going to give up on the hostage swap deal. I am not really too sure what that means in detail. I don't know. America's just going to stop supplying Israel, coerce them into, a peace treaty. All right, so let's back up and go over all this again. America, to me, is not really important. It's not seen in Bible prophecy and end times. Partially, maybe some on a couple of places I can see America. But again, a safe haven for the Jewish people until end times is my understanding of what America was actually formed and made to be. And that was foreseen in Scripture. If we realize the forefathers that brought forth the Constitution were very religious people. So that's where I got that idea from. Okay, let's keep on going here. Let's see. I got it written down here. America, Gaza. You saw Gaza's basically falling. Israel's starting to focus more now on Hezbollah. And let's see, let me just kind of wrap this up here. The peace treaty, we went over that. Doesn't look like that's going anywhere at this particular time. But all that means is tensions building. So something else might happen. I want to say this because I want to bring it up. I think in so many different ways I was wrong, but it's still, no one really saw it. And that is that, I figured, and I taught this, I believed it my own self, that if Israel was surrounded by its enemies at a given time, as they gathered together against Israel, that the rapture would happen. None of us really saw coming the war with Gaza, the war with Hezbollah, the war in West Bank. That's what it's coming down to. I didn't see that. So there's this thing in there to where we thought everything should have happened sooner, but there's a reason why it didn't, and that's these wars. The thing that we saw and thought was coming would be the rapture or the sudden destruction. Paul, 1 Thessalonians 5:3. But it didn't happen. And I'm just finding that really curious. I didn't take into account that Israel's really going to have to use its military, but they are. You find that interesting? Well, Israel, for all practical purposes, is winning. It's a war. There's no doubt about that. People are dying. Buildings are being blown up. But Israel is winning. And it's focusing more now on Hezbollah. How much further will this have to go? Now, Paul, I'm back to what I said before. This part I'm sticking with. He says when they say peace and safety, that's what we're looking for. We can say, we heard President I don't know what you want to call him, defunct president that we have here in the United States, did say during his speech that he's interested in peace and safety in the Middle East. He did use those words. So, I don't know. I'm just looking back at this and I'm saying I really didn't see these wars coming that Israel's in right now. And again, I'm not including the Houthis right now. And I told you Iran is separate because we still see them in Ezekiel 38 wars, which is mid-tribulation. So, but I see them winning. Israel is actually succeeding. Now, if something should break out all at once, I think that's what we're waiting for, but I don't see anything coming. It just continues, like I said in my last video, on and on. Excuse me. On and on we go. So where are we? And folks, this again, we're right back down to that whole thing that we just have to let go and let God. Let him bring it to us. And that would be our understanding. Because I think what I'm really saying in this video today is a little bit confused because I had figured something different and it's not happening that way. But it's not that anybody else saw it either. It's just something that now is to deal with. And that's Israel in this war against its enemies. You know, what was it? I think it was Isaiah. Is it Isaiah 66 where it talks about Israel becoming a nation again in one day? Don't quote me on that exactly. You could look around and I think you could find it right in that area. But Israel becoming a nation again, May 14th, 1948, it happened. But he says, Isaiah says in there, he said, you know what? He said in there that, you know what I'm talking to you about that. He didn't say that. That he mentions Israel's great army. And when Israel first started out as a nation, great army, was he talking about the war of 1948 that Israel would win? Or could that possibly be a reference to the great army that Israel has built during that time, during this time that they've been in Israel? They came back into their land again. So I'm just curious about that. Maybe that could have been the only place we really could have seen that part about the great army, and I just missed it. You know, I didn't really give it much thought. But here it is, Israel's great army, and it's three enemies. No, well, there's more than that, more fronts. But it's fronts right now. Again, West Bank, Hezbollah, and Gaza. Gaza looks like it's basically defeated. So let's just keep on going. I wish I could give you more information on this. Well, I can't. That's all we really have, and that just summarizes it, I hope. America, pointless. I don't even watch news anymore. Well, I haven't for a lot of years, but I get my news off of the internet. And as far as America goes, I'm not really involved. Being involved, I mean watching it, keeping up with it. I haven't watched the Republican convention, or I'm not watching the Democratic convention. I didn't watch either one of them. Because I just think that if I stay studying in end times, it really doesn't have much to do with it. That's my point. Okay, and back to Gaza. You pretty much understand there. You know, the troubles that are happening in there. Israel is winning. They are succeeding. And then again, the last one was the peace treaty. At this point, it's going absolutely nowhere. But we have strong indications by Sinwar making a note that he would really rather not be killed. That might be part of the peace treaty. So it looks like there may still be something coming down the road yet. Okay, that's it. Just those three topics. Folks, until Sunday, enjoy your day. Enjoy your afternoon. Enjoy your evening when you might be listening to this. And I'll see you back here again Sunday. If something else should pop up, I definitely will make a video. Sounds good? Okay, until then.